the survey that we had done. And if you remember, my mail had said that a lot of parents, a majority of parents had shown inclination towards coming back to school or children coming back to school. Now, how did I arrive to that conclusion? Here is the data. Now, this is the survey that we have pulled out only of grades 6 to 12. 57% of parents have agreed to send their children to school, and 16% of parents have agreed but are waiting for additional information from school with regards to transport, safety measure, etc., which I will be now talking about in this presentation. I hope that I can successfully answer all the questions of the 16% of the parents who had their questions. Now we divided the questions into 4. Mr. Sai Krishna, I request you to kindly go by my talk and don't keep moving the slides up and down, please. Thank you. So the 4 areas where the parents expressed concern was, of course, the safety precautions at school. Very much understandable. That's my priority too. Vaccination of staff, I have the numbers with me, and you're most welcome to, even check out if you need to check out your child's, teacher's vaccination card that's available. Transport, a very, very huge number in the 16% were concerned about transport. Well, they were very clear, if the transport is provided, then they may be able to send the children, and of course the lunch, which I will take you through. So these were the 4 areas where parents expressed concern. Very, very understandable. We'll move to the next slide. The safety precautions at school, how the safety precautions are being taken at school. The next slide, please. Well, dear parents, you've been seeing videos, you've been seeing different, photographs that we've been trying to share with you during the pandemic. Now, let me tell you, the cleaning, the sanitization of the buses, common areas, classrooms was an ongoing process. Of course, now it has, doubled up the work, and the washrooms, particularly, there's a deep cleaning happening on daily basis. Earlier, before the pandemic, we had a system of deep cleaning on Saturdays and Sundays of the washrooms, but in today's time, it is daily. Daily, we are using our resources to make sure that there is deep cleaning of the washrooms. And of course, the common areas, classrooms, buses are all being sanitized on day-to-day basis. And when I say that they are being sanitized, keeping the SOP in mind, the SOP that I'm talking about are the guidelines that has come to us from the health department. It was shared with schools on certain, products to be used and, certain quantity and quality to be maintained. All that is taking place on daily basis. Not even alternate days. It cannot be alternate days. It is on daily basis. Even now in my office, there's a simple process. If visitors are coming and meeting me and they leave, then immediately even I step out and there is a certain, not deep cleaning, but a certain sanitization that takes place. And then I come back into my office. So this is something for your information. The next slide, please. Then the question was about the vaccination of staff. Well, we can assure you that 95% of our staff, when I say staff, I'm talking about the teaching faculty and the administrative staff, is vaccinated. Now, who are the 5% who are not vaccinated? Unfortunately, they are those who fall under the category who've had COVID and they're waiting in that the gestation period of COVID waiting period where they cannot take the vaccination. The rest, 95% of our teaching faculty and admin staff is vaccinated. And for your information, 100% of our support staff, right from our security, bus attenders, drivers, the didis in the school, the bhaiyas, all, even the gardeners, with whom the children don't interact much, even the person who's handling our pet zoo, that is all, they are all vaccinated, 100% vaccination. And we've made sure that every person who's vaccinated has deposited their vaccination card with us. So all the data is available with our HR department. And we've also come up with a rule that all future hiring will be based on the submission of vaccination certificate, since we had to hire back a lot of drivers now. So that is one of the primary requirement, that they have to be vaccinated. Of course, then there was a very big question mark about transport, because my earlier mail did not talk about transport. We said that we are awaiting directions. I wasn't clear in my mail about it, but now we are absolutely clear, and I'm sure all of you have received the link also for you to put in your pickup and drop points. Many parents had two questions. Will you run the transport? Yes, we are running the transport. And of course, clean and hygienic transport facility. Well, that goes without saying, dear parents, because now that is the focus now. Cleanliness and hygiene is the focus now. It goes without saying. And one more thing that I would like to mention here is, since we will be running more number of buses than usual in a particular route, keeping in mind the social distancing, I want to give you a heads up that the transport charges will be higher than usual, because in a bus, only limited number of children can be made to sit down, and we also have our faculty members who will be availing the bus. So keeping all that in mind, the transport charges will be higher. However, what will be the charges? The details will be shared to you by this evening. Also about the cleanliness, as I mentioned to you, kindly go back. I'm still talking about transport. About the cleanliness, as I mentioned to you, and I want to reiterate that all the people, the complete fleet is vaccinated. And also we have taken care that the cleaning part, the hygiene part of it is taken care of. Now, those children who will be availing own transport, please understand that you have been given the time of 8:15 to reach the campus. So please make sure that you are here at the campus by 8:15. And if anybody wants to accompany the child inside, then you will also have to be giving your temperature check, etc. will be taken into account. The next slide, please. Lunch. Many parents asked us about lunch. And of course, some of them were very clear that we don't want to give lunch. And some said lunch is preferable because we are working parents. I would like to extend my apologies to all the working parents who wrote to me saying that you would prefer lunch at school. Well, lunch will not be provided at the moment because you see right now the weather, the way the weather is, children are already having some cold, cough. We all are suffering with some minor symptoms of viral, and we're taking our own care about it. So at this point of time, we do not intend to offer lunch or any other cafeteria service to our children. And the school timings, I will take you through shortly. It has been planned in such a way that the children should be able to reach home by lunchtime. However, I request you to kindly pack a box of, snacks, which is preferably some healthy snack, which the child can take. There would be 2 breaks during the day when they are here. The child can have the snack at that time. And also the water bottle. I request you that though our water facility is excellent, our RO plant is in place, I request you parents to please send water from home as an additional care that we all should be taking. And of course, a lunch box, packed snacks like chips or whatever, the other things can be avoided. And children can bring in some healthy snack and have it. Obviously, we will be ensuring internally that they're not sitting together and sharing boxes. Unfortunately, that may not happen at this point of time. But definitely, they can get their own snack boxes, especially on the way back or while coming in. That is up to you. You can have a talk with your child and decide when the child can have the snack, and they can bring their own boxes. So there is no lunch that is being provided at the moment. Now, here I would like to request all you dear parents is that these are the things that you will have to ensure the child is bringing to school. Well, water bottle, I just requested you because it's always a good idea to carry water from home. Hand sanitizer, well, we've got unlimited stock of hand sanitizers, which we will be keeping in different places, in the classrooms. It will be with every class teacher and subject teacher who will be walking in. Yet, it's always a good idea if the child carries his or her own hand sanitizer. And of course, the face mask or shield, it goes without saying, the child has to carry. And I would also request if you can send one extra mask, which is kept in the bag. Masks are also available, but it's always a good idea to carry your own mask because the school timing, the school journey starts from the bus and not merely from when they enter the school. So it's better that they carry their own mask. And of course, they carry a small plastic bag where they can keep, even this mask, they can remove it when they're eating, or probably if they're out and they would like to remove it for a while, some arrangement from your end where they can keep the mask, or probably bring another extra mask and keep it with them in the bag. So that is something, this is of course a request. And if none of these things are also there with the child, every facility is here, but we still feel it's always good for the children to carry their own stuff, especially these things. Now, this is something we've been doing and we would like to reiterate it. Before each trip, buses will be fully sanitized, that is in the morning. Attendant will do temperature check and will ensure that the child is sanitizing the hand before they're boarding, which means right now where you see one person standing with the sanitization machine, that is where the attendant will actually take the temperature. And at that stage, if the temperature is not very, it's slightly high, we will make sure that the child does not board the bus. However, dear parents, when you bring the child to the point where you're dropping the child or the child is getting picked up, please make sure that there is an attendant there from your end. In case the child has temperature, the child has to be then, in case sent back, it's always good idea that to have someone accompany the child till the child boards the bus. Attendant will also ensure that the children are maintaining social distance or social distancing, mainly because when they go and they alight from the bus, in order to step out of the bus, there's a lot of, suddenly the whole social distancing is gone and then children all come together to in a rush to step out. Quite understandable, but there are teachers on the bus, there are attendants on the bus, and for some reason, if there is no teacher on a specific route, we will be making sure that there is some admin member from the administrative staff who's on the bus. We will make sure that the bus is never moving without some responsible person, either from the faculty or from the admin staff. That is something we assure you of. And of course, as I mentioned, while you're making sure that the child is boarding the bus, please ensure that somebody accompanies the child so that God forbid, if the temperature is slightly high, then the child can be sent back home. Similarly, if you're sending the child in the morning, if the driver is dropping or you're dropping, we request you till the temperature check is done, kindly do not leave. Please stay for 5 minutes, because I understand the traffic becomes such a humongous task that you would want to turn the car, drop the child, go back. Unfortunately, I think that's not right at the moment. Request you to wait 5 minutes before you leave. In case the child is using a cab, then please don't worry. We have quarantine rooms on every floor. If we observe that the temperature is higher, then we will make sure that the child proceeds straight to the quarantine room, not to the infirmary. Infirmary is something else. We have quarantine rooms at every floor where the child will be made to sit down and we will give you a call. That is when the child is coming by a cab. And obviously, you've gone back or some such scenario. Temperature check will be done at the gate. This is for the own transport. And as I mentioned to you, if the child is coming And if I'm rushing too fast, I can obviously, I'll request one of our faculty members to signal to me if I'm going very fast. And please don't worry, this PPT and the recording of the same will be shared with you so that you can then go back and look at it carefully. And of course, the recording will be shared with those parents who are unable to attend today. And of course, the PPT will be shared with all the parents. The next slide, please. Now, social distancing, dear parents, we all know that children, when they come together, there's a lot of excitement. They're coming back to this huge campus, which is a mercy of Almighty. Our classrooms are huge. We've got huge ventilated spaces. We've got open hubs. So class teachers and subject teachers have been given clear instructions that don't restrict the children merely to the classroom, bring them out into the lawns, the front foyer, the turf, and have classes. They can, some teachers can even use the auditorium, the MP hall, even the corridors can be used for classrooms. So that way we are very, very lucky, all of us, that we've got that kind of arrangement. Yet we would like to completely assure you that while children are at school, we will ensure that they are maintaining the social distancing. However, as I mentioned to you earlier, that we will also be avoiding all common assemblies. That is, on day one, we will have one assembly, since we also need to talk to our children about the do's and the don'ts, since they are here at the campus. After that, every day they will have a homeroom assembly. That means they will go straight to their class, settle down, and they will have their 10-15 minutes of assembly, which is very important, where you have meditation, you have circle time, you have some getting to know, bonding and connecting program. That will happen in the classroom. Only day one, we plan to have a common assembly in the front foyer, because that can accommodate a lot of children at a certain distance. And after that, based on that same distance, they will move to their classrooms. And next day, they will not be having a common assembly. They will be having their homeroom assemblies in the classroom. So please understand, even their movement to the toilets will be monitored. Not at any point we will have too many children using the washroom simultaneously. So we've kept a logbook there. We are making sure that, you know, on every floor, besides the security guard that we have, we also have lady security guards. We have trained our didis and ayamas in such a way that we have a washroom support staff who will take care that at no point a certain number doesn't exceed, if it is especially during the break time. So we are taking care of that also, dear parents, that the washrooms don't get crowded. It's a big no-no. So we will be even monitoring the movement to the washrooms. We have special support staff assigned there. Earlier we used to have one IMA. Now we've increased it. We actually have a supervisor there on every floor washroom, especially during the break time, where we will be monitoring. We will be maintaining a logbook so that parents can have access to even that logbook, how many people simultaneously are going to the restrooms. Next slide, please. Well, dear parents, God forbid, we are right now, we have a tie-up with Rainbow Children's Hospital and Premier Hospital. We signed the MOU 2 days ago, and we are now heading to sign another MOU with Apollo Shine Foundation. The reason why we are doing it, dear parents, is that we want to ensure that, God forbid, anytime there's an emergency, we are having hospitals at different vicinity points. If you look at Premier Hospital, it's the closest. Then we have Rainbow Children's Hospital. I think it's now moved towards even Gachibowli side. And then we've got Apollo Shine. So the reason is that we want to make sure that, and besides that, when we have a tie-up with these hospitals, we receive the SOPs from them as well as to how do we take care, God forbid, in case there's an emergency. And not only an emergency, how do we have a day-to-day system around, God forbid, if any emergency comes up. Besides that, as I mentioned to you, every floor will have an isolation room. So right from the time the child is entering the school premises, to the time the child leaves. We will also have a temperature check done once in the middle of the day, that is between 8:15 to 1:15. And God forbid any child feels uneasy, we will be giving clear instructions to our children also. They have to straight away move to the isolation room, which is the quarantine room, which I mentioned earlier. And of course, right now we are tied up since our MOU is already signed. I have mentioned Premier Hospital and Rainbow Children's Hospital, and we are in the pipeline to sign up a MOU with Apollo Shine. It should be done in a day or two, and then definitely we will be sharing details of these 3 hospitals with you. Before the school takes any kind of action, if a child is feeling uneasy, we will first be calling you up to inform you and take your permission in case, God forbid, the child needs to be taken to the hospital, which I pray and hope such a situation never arrives. No assessment, even if the children are coming to the campus, they will not have any assessment on campus. We want all our children to have a common platform for assessment, and that is only online. Now, these are some very, very important numbers. Please take a screenshot.